Hello, ladies. My name is Brenda Reese, and I am an intuitive, transformational, and forgiveness coach. And I want to come to you today to share about I want to recap a little bit of what forgiveness is and isn't, because that's come up in conversation lately. People are having a hard time with the word forgiveness. And so I wanted to kind of go through quickly, and then I want to share a little practice with you about responding versus reacting, because that's happening a lot in the world right now, right? So, forgiveness, what it is, the Stanford Forgiveness Project did a great study. And what they found was that there's a great myth about forgiveness, and that it is done for others, right? It is not done for others, it is done for ourselves. And that's something that people understand, but have we taken that to heart? Because it really is about us. And that's what I teach in that portion of forgiveness that I teach in my work. And so what forgiveness is about really taking back your power. Forgiveness really is, because when we give our power to others, when we are blaming, when we are mad at, when we are feeling like we're victimized, which, things happen, they happen, and we go through them. But it's how we deal with them, right? How we go forward with that information and with that experience that matters. So yes, we are victimized in the sense that we are, something has happened to us, but how can we turn that around? How can we bring our power back? And that's what the forgiveness process can do. Because understanding that forgiveness is not condoning bad behavior. It's not saying that something like right happened, right? It's admitting and acknowledging that something didn't go as planned, that something happened to you, and that we don't want to excuse that poor behavior. We don't want to condone unkindness. That's not what this is about. And it also means that we don't have to reconcile with this offender, even if it's a family member. So that's important to know. And the other part is that forgiveness is about taking responsibility for how we feel. Forgiveness is a choice that we get to make. And that's hard to grasp when we're in the middle of the pain. But it is. Now, there's a time to forgive and a time not to forgive. So, yes, forgiveness is crucial and key, and it changes our lives. It brings freedom to our heart and our mind. Forgiveness brings a sense of well-being to all of us and to those around us when we're able to really embrace it and embody it. Yes. And then there's also a time where we're not able to, and that's okay. Right after, as you're going through a painful divorce, not a time to forgive. When we are going through a death, not a time to forgive, right? When we have been hurt by someone, not a time to forgive, because we have to allow ourselves to feel the feelings. So please do that. Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Talk it out with a trusted friend, or coach or a therapist, but do talk it out, because as women, we need to do that. And the other thing that I wanted to share is that forgiveness is it's key, right? And yet remember that there is a time to forgive and a time to not forgive quite yet, because we don't want to go into a spiritual bypass, right? That forgiveness doesn't have to be a religious or otherworldly experience. That was in that forgiveness project study that was done. But it sure does help to have some faith in something. It really does. So, because when we have faith in something, right, we bring faith to ourselves, and we learn to trust, and we learn to be able to move forward with ease and grace, which is what we want. And I'm going to close out with this, an exercise on responding versus reacting. So this is something that I teach my clients in my workshop, and I teach it in private coaching. That has been really valuable. And that is the fact of when you feel yourself getting frustrated, right? When you're feeling stuff, like if you're in conversation with someone else and they start to frustrate you because they're triggering you, and that's a whole different video we'll talk about. Breathe. Pause. What this does is it brings in awareness. Pause. Take a breath. Centers us, right? Then we can ask ourselves, what is it that I truly desire here? If it's in a conversation with another person, this is a quick thing that can be done in your mind. Breathe. Or you can also say, can you give me just a minute? Take a breath. What is it I truly desire? What is this that you want with this other person, right? What is it that we want? And it's at this time that we get to make a choice. Do I need to step away? Do I need to take a moment to gather myself? Or do I need to ask for something from them? That's key too. And then we can talk it out, right? Maybe we need some time. It's really valuable, because we all have abandonment issues, to not just walk away or storm away. What's really valuable is to say, I need some time. Let's reconvene or come back together at 4:00 and let's talk about this. So there are things that we can do to take care of ourselves, because when we pause, we slow down the reaction, because when we react, right, it's coming from the gut. When we pause, it's more coming from our heart. And that allows us to really feel, instead of reacting, instead of fighting, instead of being the animal in the corner defending ourselves, we can have a little bit of time to figure out what triggered us. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to hearing any comments you have about any experience maybe you've had on responding versus reacting, or what is your thoughts about forgiveness? I would love to know.